Howdy, y'all. Let's tailgate. Howdy, Todd. I did get that smoothed down. In case anybody was here yesterday or earlier. And I cleaned up all of this. Well, we got 4 people in. I'm not going to continue to just play music. Okay, it was some damn good music. In case y'all are wondering, the group that did that is Rollins and Young. You can find them in most of the Spanish guitar areas. These guys are phenomenal. I don't know how they can keep it going. You can tell when it's one guitar versus both guitars, and sometimes it's just going nuts. Howdy, Steph. So I went to a cigar shop today. I'm not going to tell y'all which cigar shop. Except for, I just did. Figured I'd pick up something for this evening's live broadcast. Howdy, Steph, by the way. I think Steph knew where I was, because I told her where I went. Now, normally, y'all have seen me smoke the Robusto. This is a much bigger cigar. This particular cigar is one of my standard favorites. There goes Steph claiming she's psychotic. Oh, psychic. I'm sorry, Steph. Or am I? She'll be on the next episode of Criminal Minds. Okay, so normally, the cigar I normally smoke is about as thick as that board, which this is obviously thicker, and about as long as that board. So this is also obviously longer. In fact, this block came out of a cigar box. Cedar. Love me some cedar. Howdy, Boris. Howdy, Skip. No, this is not a box pressed cigar. This is the Alec Bradley Black Market Gordo. So when you get me to talking about the Alec Bradleys, if you get me talking about the Gordo, it's all bets are off. Probably my favorite cigar of all time. But it has to do with everything that goes into this cigar and everything that I get out of it. Including, one of these days I'm going to show y'all a picture and you're not going to believe the picture. I swear to God you will not believe the picture. But it's of my hand holding one of these straight like this with smoke coming up from it, and it's all ash except for like this little nub. And the first people that I know for certain that I'm going to show it to, I'm going to wait until they are where that picture was taken so that they can see that there's some truth to it. Y'all see me pulling out the big spark plug? That's because it's a 60 ring gauge. This particular cutter I only use on 60 ring gauges because it cuts such a big freaking monstrosity of a hole. Probably can't even see it well. There it goes. Showed up pretty good right there. Now remember, that's in a 60 ring gauge. You do that with a 50 ring gauge, and you might as well just forget about it. Boris, I really do like punches. I like the fact that I can duplicate exactly the same hole. With a regular cutter, you can sometimes duplicate the hole, you can sometimes screw it up. With a punch, that hole is exactly the same one. So if you're trying to do something specific and you need to be able to reproduce exact same, for instance, the hole, it gives a scientific background to what kind of got me into thinking, hey, maybe I should do some reviews and stuff like that. I like being able to put 100% reproducible facts in. Howdy, Jose. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Of which I'm going to go ahead and answer the question he's going to come back with. Muy bien. El café. Un cigarro. Mis amigos. Now, Boris, I agree with you exactly. With the torpedo style and anything that's like a Lancero. So if it comes to a sharp point or it's super skinny and only thing a punch is going to do is tear it up, I'm going to use a cutter or a knife of some sort. You better believe my knives are sharp. I keep them in that condition. But Almost everything else I prefer a punch, just because, one, I've got them, and two, I've also run into extremely flat topped cigars, and if you try to use a cutter on that, they'll just unravel. Even a V cutter is wrong for those. Now, with Lanceros and with torpedoes, and some pyramid types, and of course Solomons. Solomons are the kind that start off skinny on one end, and then they have an oval or an egg shape. I do not believe I've ever owned an Opinel knife. I tend to use knives that I can pick up again at a store somewhere close to wherever I'm tending to be living. Most of everything I can get in Texas, I can get at an Academy. Academy being a sports store here in the Texas area. I don't know if they've reached national or international size, but I do know their locations in Texas quite well. Yes, I actually have several different punch tools to get various sizes of holes. But if I'm looking for, like I've said, the Solomon or the Torpedo or a Lancero, quite often I will just go ahead and I'll use a V cutter on those. The El Paso Academy sucks. Well, I didn't know that, Skip. I'm sorry. But I'm betting that they will still be able to carry the Gerber Crucial. Proof that that's the Gerber Crucial, which is one of my most often used and reached for tools. Not all that expensive. Great tool to have. Just because it's one of those everyday carry items that I everyday carry. Not trying to convince anybody about anything. Did we all wait? You know what? I'm not even going to ask that question. I'm just going to go ahead and grab hold of it and bring it out. For those of y'all who have been watching along as I have been making so many mistakes carving my own pipe. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. It was so nice of you to send this thing to me. And then I found that sand pit that goes almost straight at the bowl and probably stopped within 1/8 of an inch. Ugh. Disheartening to say the least. So what I've done here, and I filed and filed and filed until I filled that hole all the way back up, full, even a little bit mounded over of briar dust. And I kept tapping it to make sure it would sink in there as much as possible. And then I put some dye all into it. And I went ahead and took that dye, and then I put some Gorilla Wood glue, because from everything I read, it has the highest ability to resist heat of all the normal wood glues that said that they would also be safe in food type settings. Howdy TX, glad to see you in today. Hopefully Fort Worth is muchly warmed up. Actually, I know that it has. Hopefully your pipes are intact. That would be a better hope. So anyways, I mixed that up, turned it into this gooey paste, pressed it in there as tightly as I could with the tools that I had available to me, and it's actually formed a fairly solid layer. Well, Chad, don't forget this is the Gorilla Wood glue, not the Gorilla glue. And from looking at that woman, no, I'm not going to say that, because if I call her a gorilla, people are going to say that I was being racist. She's pretty big, though. I wouldn't want to take her. Not in a dark alley. Hell no. Anyways, yes, this is the wood glue. This is not the epoxy resin glue. So this side of the pipe is not getting touched tomorrow. That's okay, because I've got all of this side to work on. Plenty left to do to work on the pipe. Plenty left to do. I started working on this one. I took a shoulder off from right here that was all the way around. If I hold this just right, you can kind of see the circular pattern where the drill kind of stopped. Anyways, there was a chunk of wood sticking out there. I cleaned that up. Skip, I'm not sure if we can say that she's stupid legally or not. There might be legal repercussions to giving the truth about her idiotic move about spraying a toxic super glue-like substance into her hair to be used as hairspray. Howdy Dale, glad to see you're in. So, here I am, geez, almost 20 minutes in and I haven't even lit this cigar. And this is a full 2-hour cigar. I'm willing to bet I'm going to be finishing this about the same time Mike finishes up his live stream. That's okay. I like it. Oh, so you're allowed to say it, but then they'll put you in YouTube or Twitter or Facebook jail. Or to the gulag. Look, I'm the kind of person that if I do something stupid, I want to be told I did something stupid. I don't mind somebody coming out and saying, hey man, you're doing something stupid. Don't do that. Okay. Now, if I'm going to continue with it, there's got to be a reason behind it after someone's brought it to my attention that what I'm doing is stupid. I'm using a real sharp knife to carve this instead of files and rasps and things that will actually take the wood in a much easier manner. But this one is mine. It's going to be mine forever, so whatever. This other one with the G on it, I'm hoping that there's not some sort of fatal flaw in there somewhere. If there is, I'm going to feel really bad because I'm hoping to do it well enough and maybe do a GAW and give it away. Of course, somebody's going to have to want it. I doubt anybody's going to actually want it, unless, of course, there's some sort of eccentric collector that wants to say, yes, I actually have the first ever available pipe from that guy. And as of right now, I'm going to make this statement, there's absolutely no proof that I'm ever going to have more than two. The one that will be mine and the one that I might give away. And then again, if I think it looks really, really good, I might just send it back to the person that sent it to me and see what they think about it. Might be a good thing to do too. Never can tell. You want this cigar? Sorry, Chad, you can't have this cigar. You can have one just like it, but this one is mine. And now I put my slobber all over it, so you can't have it. I will COVID on it too, just to be mean. No, I don't have COVID. Don't worry. Have I done something stupid then? Yes. At least once in my life. Luckily, I did most of my stupid shit before the invention of cell phone cameras. Maybe not all of, but most. Definitely most. Oh, come on there. Mike, he doesn't want a pipe from Donald. No, actually, the only way you should ever use any kind of alcohol on the tip of a cigar is once you've got it lit, if you're going to just dip it in like a brandy or a sherry. And even that I do not suggest personally, but I've heard that it will do some good things for cigars. Me personally, if you need to flavor your cigar with something outside of your cigar, you should do it in a completely different manner. By the way, howdy Mike, glad to see you're here. Now look, if you want to dip a cigar into some rum or something like that, I've done it. I've done it with bourbon, but I've done it. I didn't really think it did anything for the cigar personally. Well, Steph, you're still at least 2 years behind me on school. Even though you went back and started being a teacher, so I guess you probably caught up by doing extra years. So Mike, what do you think? I had to patch up a sand pit, and it's starting to show an indentation. So I might be doing some more patching on that if it keeps sucking back. But from what I understand, sucking back like that says that it's actually getting a full adhesion totally to the inside of the sand pit, which I cleaned out as much as I possibly could. Oh, I have rasps and files and sandpaper. But you said this one's for me, so I didn't know I had to go all super on it. But I will be using rasps and files and sandpaper on this one. I just don't know exactly what design I'm going to do with it yet. It's kind of a funky looking block of wood at present. I mean, it drilled off center, crooked. It's weird from every angle. Nothing symmetrical about it. And I love it completely, so it's weird. Like me. It's cut for a straight classic billiard. I was thinking that myself, but I was also thinking that, is there something other than a straight classic billiard that it's begging to be? Every pipe, let's see, what was the statement? Every chunk of briar has a perfect pipe inside of it. It's our job as a pipe carver to find that perfect shape and bring it out. I mean, it's obviously cut too short to be a Canadian or a prince, right? So take Canadian and Prince out. Probably going to end up making it shaped pretty much like a cob. Make a Canadian blowfish reverse calabash. I don't even know enough about pipes to tell you if that's even possible, but I seriously doubt that's possible with that chunk of briar. Billiard, pot, poker, or possibly Dublin are my options for that pipe. Okay. Then I'm going to start looking at pictures of those tonight so I can put some ideas down real quick. I've been working on this. I cleaned up all of this bird's eye weirdness section right here. I did that off camera. It's not very interesting, really. You kind of jab in with a little tool and you lift a chunk of it out and you brush it off if you can. Well, I didn't know if I'm going to take all of it off, because some of it, especially like right around in this area, it bends quite well under the bowl, and it might be that it gets left alone. And then once I got started, I realized I had extra minutes and I was just like goofing off and not doing much of anything. So I kept going and ended up cleaning it all out just because it was something to do. And though I dropped it right there, it didn't seem to land on anything I needed to worry about. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically look at the pipes that have been suggested because the shapes are readily available for this block. And then I'm going to basically kind of and when I see something that basically speaks to me and says, yes, that's the shape that it wants to be, then I'll do a rough little sketch of it real quick and then start on it. As far as this pipe goes, this pipe is still going to be carved most of the way with just straight, sharp knives because I'm hard-headed and I kind of want to prove that I can do it. I know, against my better judgment. I'm willing to bet that I could actually do a straight apple without a lathe. It would be difficult, extremely difficult. Probably why I'm not going to attempt it, because it would be extremely difficult. Have I got a year's free time? Actually, yes, Mike, I do. With the interesting grain pattern, though, from what I'm seeing, I might be attempting a little bit of a unique shape on this portion right here. Hand carving a round bowl is very difficult. Flat Cap, howdy, and please say hello to Lady Fire for us. We would greatly appreciate. And yes, I am having an extremely relaxing evening. I'm here with somewhere between 11 and 15 of my closest friends. I'm smoking a cigar, having a drink of coffee, and I gotta say, if life gets any better than that, I don't need to go there. We're up to 12 people in. Hey, howdy. Glad y'all could be here today. I was hoping to see Andrew here. He kind of wanted to know some things about rehydrating tobacco. I was going to give him the 3 easiest ways possible to do it. My personal favorite way to rehydrate a tobacco, if it has been just dried to smithereens. 1 gallon Ziploc bag, open the tin, leave it open, put it inside the 1 gallon Ziploc bag. Take a shot glass, juice glass, or other small glass, or a small bowl, fill it part way up with distilled water, put it in the bag, seal it shut, leave it on a kitchen countertop, but not near the stove. I always say a kitchen countertop because people tend to not go in the kitchen and mess around with stuff all that often. But you also don't want to put it in any place where it's going to get above, call it 80 degrees. and you want to keep it out of places that are going to be below 40 degrees. Past that, give it time and it will rehydrate just by natural evaporation. And there it is. "10 minutes in, and this thing has not even burned a full inch. Not even a half inch. Boris, yes, the other thing to do, if you want to rapidly rehydrate, go find the highest percentage moisture of any of the Bovedas. Put it in any kind of a bag, really, that's going to be able to seal up nice and tight. Let it do its job. The mini Bovedas that are 69% are a great way for handling any kind of regular maintenance. But I really wouldn't trust it for rehydrating a blend, because it's going to dry out the mini ones a whole lot faster than you would believe. But for regular maintenance, those small ones, man, they work great. It would work really good for Steph and Skip, but then I'm going to have to teach them how to rehydrate Boveda packs. They'll be spending large amounts of money on distilled water over there at Walmart or HEB. I say that it's probably those two stores because, well, they're in Texas still, and that means that they either have a Walmart or an HEB. Of course, there might be like Food Town or Safeway or Kroger's there also. Hey, Flat Cap, she also might like Bonita Pipita. Of course, maybe not. I'm not sure what Pipita would mean. There's no HEB in El Paso. Oh, y'all got screwed. That is true, Boris. You can always rehydrate the Boveda packs by soaking them in distilled water. One of the best ways to do it is you find there are bags that are made by Alec Bradley. They come in a Toro. They're a 4-pack Toro set. You fill the bag up with the water, the distilled water. When it's done after a day, that is the perfect chamber for regenerating Boveda packs. You can just trust me on that one. I've done a lot of experiments on it. What is HEB? HEB, originally it stands for, is it Howard or Harold? It's one of them or the other. Eugene Butts. Butts. It is a grocery store chain that is based in Texas and pretty much only in Texas. And if you get anywhere near San Antonio over to Houston, it's going to be the best produce you can get normally. And if you go farther south, It might be the only store in the whole town. They do concentrate a whole lot more on the flavors that are prevalent in Texas. But that's not a bad thing because, you know, Houston being the fattest city in the planet for I don't know how many years straight, which only proves that we love food. You've got a you'll just have to believe me when I say you can't be the fattest city on the planet if you have food that's not flavorful and good. And, well, hey, what do I know? I'm just a fat guy that lives in Houston. I've seen restaurants that made it everywhere else pull into Houston and couldn't sell out 12 days in a whole year. And I've seen restaurants that were born and bred in Houston go to other places and they're doing just fine. Don't have to believe me. Hamilton Eugene Bell. Any relationship to Bell Helicopters? Boris, you wouldn't melt in Houston. You just wouldn't go outside during certain months of the year. May through November. Not only is Houston fattest, but we are the air conditioning capital of the world. That's all right, Chad. Not that my wallet knows anything about Howard Hughes. Of course, I guess it really wouldn't have mattered. He left most of his money to some guy he picked up hitchhiking, right? Only thing I share with Howard Hughes is a little bit of insanity. But we don't suffer from it. We enjoy the hell out of it. So I'm going to remind y'all, you get a big fat cigar like this, certain flavors are going to go down, but you will receive other flavors. Normally, if you have a stick that is peppery, and it's a skinny stick, but it's too peppery for you, go up in sizes. Fatter, that is. And that peppery will tone down, and its chances are you're going to end up with either a leathery or a chocolate that is just absolutely smooth. This stick here in the Robusto, it's okay. I like it. Like this, oh, it's tasty. Wait. Steph, are you sure we don't have... Houston's no longer the fattest city in the planet anymore? God, I'm shocked. Boris, you're not that big. Hate to tell you this, brother, but my dad was 3 times your size. Till he had gastric bypass and one of those other ones. Oh, Houston is now only number 4. Woohoo! My dad weighed around 350, 380 pounds. I don't know. He might have gotten up to around 500. It's not like I stayed every day with him. I mean, I got to be an adult. Lived my own life. Didn't need to be keeping tabs on him every day of his. Houston's number 4. 4 is a good number. I bet we dropped several belt sizes, though, with this COVID thing, because we can't go to the bar and drink beer. Steph is not fat. If I pull my neck down, I look a little heavier. Any other subjects, topics y'all want to talk about? I know Mike wants to talk about me picking up a file and a rasp and a bunch of sandpaper and a lathe and I want to talk about getting a lathe too, but I just can't afford the $275 that I saw today. At present. Maybe if I do a good enough job on these pipes and somebody thinks that they're actually worth money, I might think about it. But that's not happening right now. Howdy, Josh. Great seeing you in today. New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago? Oh no, those are heaviest cities by number of people. I'm just talking about pound per person. Some of those shut-ins in New York probably do weigh in pretty good, though. But I have seen New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago restaurants, not named pizza, that have failed miserably in Houston. Biggest named one was De Niro's. Of course, that was his politics that played into that. He basically shot himself in the foot by talking shit. Which is why my pipes will never sell in California, because I talk shit about my home state too much. What do I know? Great to be from. Houston is 27th on that list. Woohoo! I don't know. Research. I don't do any research anymore. I searched for it once and I never looked for it again. And damn it, I better find it the first time. Now, Skip, I completely agree with that statement. Chicago pizza does take quite a bit too damn long. People are impatient for pizza around here. But in Houston, there is one place that I can remember. I don't remember the name of it. It's a little place. But they are always busy. Huh, is Mike now just starting? Did I miss that he started his? Uh-oh. It's only 7:23. No wonder I didn't know it was coming up. Wait one.
Oh.
Everybody, Mike's on live. We're going to jump over and go over to his station. Everybody, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Let's go fill up his station. We've got more in here than he has in there.
Yes, Friday is good.
I really appreciate y'all coming in. It's been great having you here. I'm going to be enjoying this cigar for a while. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And remember, we are definitely one big, huge family. Love to see you when all this COVID is over. Like always, remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you over there on Mike's station real soon.
You're all well, I hope. Average Joe, welcome in.